This is the empty parking lot, guys, where the Sylvia Likens house was. The terrible deeds that were done to that poor girl in this house, beyond and unimaginable. Someone said a hot screwdriver. Other people said a hot clothing hanger was taken to Sylvia's body on her stomach. And Gertrude, or one of the children, thought it was really a hoot to carve "I'm a prostitute and proud of it" across her belly while she was tied on a mattress, already having been covered with cigarette burns. She was molested, tortured sexually with Coke bottles, things no child, no person should ever have to deal with. There's also reports of supernatural activity right here in this parking lot where these events, these horrific events, took place. Some spirits still have a tale to tell. And if indeed it's Sylvia, she's earned the right. We're here for you today, girl. We hear you. We know your story. Across the street, the Fellowship Baptist Church. Pray for America. The beautiful little church here in the neighborhood, right across the street from this now parking lot for the church. It's kind of fitting that the house of horror was torn down, and now it serves as a parking spot for people coming to worship and pray every Sunday and try to do good in the community. Things can change with good people, but things can go south when no one says nothing. Evil, bad people just wait in the darkness, ready to take over. We can't let that happen. Today, we find ourselves in the heartland of America, the city of Indianapolis, Indiana. Now, Indianapolis is known for many things: the roar of the engines at the Indy 500, its vibrant art scene, and unfortunately, a gruesome case of Sylvia Likens. That's right, guys. We're not just here for the deep fried corn and good old Hoosier hospitality today. We're about to dive deep into one of the darkest chapters in Indy's history. So buckle up, guys, because this is your Haunted Backroads. Today we find ourselves in the heartland of America, the city of Indianapolis, Indiana, the place that I was born and raised in. It's known for the roar of the engines of the Indianapolis 500, of course, the Indiana State Fair. Very friendly people for the most part. But every place has a dark history. You just have to know where to look. I'm talking about this gruesome case of Miss Sylvia Likens. We're not just here for the deep fried corn and good old Hoosier hospitality today. We're about to delve into one of the darkest chapters of Indy's history. The year was 1965, and the Beatles were busy singing the song Help. But little did they know, their cry for help mirrored that of a young girl named Sylvia Likens. A name that would become synonymous with one of the most heinous crimes in Indiana history. Now, this tale isn't for the faint-hearted. The house on East New York Street, where this tragedy unfolded, stands as a chilling reminder. Sylvia was subjected to unspeakable horrors in this seemingly ordinary home, a place that should have been a sanctuary, but instead it became a real-life house of horrors. In July 1965, Lester and Betty Likens, they were traveling fair concessionaires, carnies. They left two of their children, Sylvia Marie, 16, and Jenny Faye, 15, as boarders in the home of Miss Gertrude Benzowski. Her alias was Gertrude Wright, at the time 37-year-old, divorced mother of 7. And on October 26th, all hell would break loose. Likens was lying on a soiled mattress on the floor of an empty upstairs bedroom. Her body was covered with cuts, severe bruises, and a variety of open sores, some from over 100 cigarette burns, peeling, scald marks, and missing skin. She had 2 black eyes, shredded lips, and fingernails that were broken backwards. Further, Likens' body showed evidence of a malnutrition, and a 3-inch brand on her chest with the words, "I am a prostitute and proud of it," were etched into her stomach. The official cause of death was a subdural hematoma from a blow to the temple. Jenny Likens approached the investigating officers and offered to make a statement, providing she was immediately removed from the home. Over the next several days, police took the entire Benzowski family and 8 neighborhood children into custody. Anna Cisco, 13, Michael Monroe, 11, and Randy Lepper, 11, and Judy Duke, 12. They were all charged with injury to a person. All would later be released under subpoena as state witnesses. Benzowski's youngest children, Marie, 11, Shirley, 10, James, 8, and Dennis Wright Jr., 1, were placed in separate foster homes. In December of 1965, a grand jury indicted Gertrude Benzowski. Her daughters, Paula, 17, and Stephanie, 15, and her son, John Jr., 12, and 2 neighbors, Coy Hubbard and Richard Hobbs, both 15, on charges of first-degree murder. The highly publicized April 1966 murder trial drew national attention. The testimony revealed that Gertrude Benzowski had supervised and assisted her own and other neighborhood children in the daily torture of Likens. Sylvia Likens spent the last week of her life shut in the basement of the house without access to food or water. Neighbors who were aware of Likens' condition in the Benzowski household had not interfered. Gertrude pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. She was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life imprisonment. The judgment was reversed on appeal in 1970, and a new trial was ordered with a change of venue. The 1971 retrial again found her guilty of first-degree murder. And in 1985, she was granted parole, despite a public petition protest that raised over 40,000 signatures. She died in Iowa from lung cancer on June 16, 1990, at the age 60. Paula Benzowski was found guilty of second-degree murder and was sentenced to life imprisonment, also granted a new trial on appeal in 1970. She pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter in 1971 retrial and was sentenced to 2 21-year sentences. She twice escaped from prison and was granted parole 2 years later. Stephanie Benzowski, who voluntarily testified for the state, was granted a separate trial, found not guilty, and released. Coy Hubbard, Richard Hobbs, and John Benzowski Jr. were all convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to 2 21-year sentences. They served 18 months and were released on parole in 1967. Coy Hubbard died on June 23, 2007, from a heart attack. Richard Hobbs died of lung cancer on January 2, 1972, and at the age of 21. John Benzowski Jr. lived in relatively obscurity under the alias John Blake. He became a lay minister, frequently hosting counseling sessions for the children of divorced parents. He died of diabetes on May 19, 2005, at the age of 52. And in 2007, the movie An American Crime, a movie based on the Likens murder, debuted at the Sundance Film Festival and gained much public interest to this case. It serves as a stark reminder that evil can lurk in the most ordinary places, behind the most mundane facades. Wake up to all, reminding us to be vigilant, to look out for our neighbors, to not turn a blind eye to potential signs of abuse. We're going to visit the grave of Sylvia Likens, and I'm going to tell you the story. It's a hard one to tell, but it needs to be told because there was so much more to Sylvia than just an American crime, a horrific crime. So stay tuned. Let's go find her. I think this is the stone here. Yes, it is. Don't want to disturb anything. Hi, Sylvia. Just came to visit you today. Yes. It's cold today. There it is, guys. Sylvia Marie Likens, 1949 to 1965. But let's not let this dark tale overshadow the spirit of Indianapolis, which today, this bustling city, is known for much more than the Likens case. Its vibrant art scene, the famous Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and its bustling downtown area are testaments to the city's resilience and its refusal to be defined by its past. And if you're wondering about the Benazowski household, well, the house on East New York Street no longer stands. In its place is a parking lot, serving as a stark concrete reminder of the atrocities that once took place on that very spot. Well, folks, that's it for this episode of My Haunted Backroads. I am your host, Ghostman Sean B. As we leave this site, I dedicate this episode to the memory and the life of Sylvia Likens and children alike, and to the whole Likens family. Sometimes to tell history accurately, I have to cover the good with the bad. This episode teaches us many lessons, but the one that stands out the most is if you see something, say something. Because guys, it takes a village. I'm Ghostman Sean B, and these are my Haunted Backroads.